Good morning, it's Matt here from Go Green Auto. So this is a Maxus eDeliver 3 electric van, and on one of my previous videos someone asked me how do you reset the tyre pressure monitoring system on the dash. That's a rather quick question to answer, so in this video I'm going to look at all things tyres and tyre pressures on the Maxus eDeliver 3. So first off, tyre size. So these are a 185/65 R15 92H XL. So 15-inch wheels. Being a Chinese made vehicle, they're a made in China tyre. They are a Wanli harmonic. So what I found with these is they are quite noisy. So obviously you're not going to change them to put something quieter on until these are worn, but when they are worn out, I suspect you could find a quieter tyre than these. I don't actually know what the decibel rating is on these, but yeah, I suspect there's better ones out there. And with all modern vehicles, usually on the door jamb is a sticker which shows you the tyre pressures, and on these it is 41 psi on the front and 45 psi on the back, and you'll notice there isn't a difference in pressures whether you've got a person and a load, all the same pressure. And if you go in the user manuals, page 150, again it's got the tyre pressures here. Just to note, there is another same size tyre here, but we don't have that tyre in the UK. We've got the 92H standard tyre, so we've got the slightly lower pressures. It's also quite interesting in this manual, they've put the wheel alignment information as well, which is quite handy if you ever need to get your wheels aligned. All the information for the garage is there as well. And obviously these vans have tyre pressure monitoring. So up on the dash here on the little screen, you can change what is displayed there by pushing the button here, and you can toggle round until you get the tyre pressure screen, and this just keeps toggling through the various options there. And it is measured in kPa, which is a unit we don't really use in the UK. We either use PSI or bar. But anyway, it seems it's kPa only, but at least you can see what each wheel pressure currently is at. And if you're not sure what that kPa means, you can always refer back to that sticker, and we could see up on the screen my front wheels were at 280 kPa, which is correct, which is 41 psi. And the way the tyre pressure monitoring system works is there is a sensor in the back of the valve which sits on the inside of the wheel rim inside the tyre there, and it's constantly measuring the pressure. So these do have rubber valve stems, so they look like the old basic stems, but there is a tyre pressure sensor mounted on the end of that stem. So I've got my scanner here, and what I'm actually going to do now is just go round and measure each sensor. So we've got left front here, so I can put that on and say trigger, and on my scanner here it's got a sensor in that corner which I've put on the wheel sensor there, and it's measured that one. It's now asking for the front right. Let's just put that on there and say trigger, and now rear right. It's done that one, and now rear left. There. And now that has read all the wheels, and we can see here the ID of each sensor, which is a hexadecimal number. We can see here the tyre pressures, 40.1 psi in the front wheels, 44.5 and 44.2. We can also change that to kPa and bar if you want to see what that is in the different metrics. And then we've got the frequency of the sensor and the temperature. We can change that to centigrade. So that's interesting. One of them is slightly hotter than the rest, but actually I've just blown the tyres up, so that could have been the air from the compressor has affected that a little bit. And the last thing is the battery, and the battery is okay on all of them. So that's what the sensors is sending to the vehicle. All that information, basically an ID number, pressure and the temperature. And with that ID number and the frequency, the vehicle picks that up, and obviously it's measuring that tyre pressure there. And then of course that information is displayed up here on the screen, so you as the driver can see the pressure in each tyre. So the question I got asked is, how do you reset that? Because on particularly older vehicles there was a reset function. So if your tyre pressure monitoring system flagged up and said you've got low pressure, what you did is go around the vehicle, pumped all the tyres up, make sure they were right, and then you had to do a reset here inside the vehicle. However, that was because those older vehicles didn't have tyre pressure sensors. What those used to use is the wheel sensor, the ABS wheel sensor in the hub, measuring wheel speed, and if a tyre is flat, then the wheel speed of that flat tyre changes in relation to the others, and it would flash up that there was a problem. And that's how the earlier systems worked. However, these more modern vehicles have a sensor in each wheel, and it's constantly relaying that tyre pressure back here. So there isn't a reset function. You don't reset it. All you do is blow the tyre up to the correct value, and then as you drive, the sensors wake up, and it's always relaying the current information here. So unlike that old system where it's measuring a difference between the wheels to work out whether one is flat or low, this is relaying the actual tyre pressure of every single tyre. So much more accurate, and the result of that, you do not have that reset function. You don't need to do that. You just sort your wheel out, fix the puncture, blow the tyre up, and you've got the pressure at the time there on your display. So the final thing is I'm going to test what happens when you get a puncture. So I'm going to see whether we get a yellow warning light up here on the dash. So first off, let's look at my rear tyres. So I've got 310 kPa in one and 308 kPa in the other. So I'm now going to go and let a load of air out of one of the tyres, take it for a quick drive and see what we get up on the dash. So this rear tyre had 310 in it. So I'm now going to let this down, not to a dangerous level, but take a significant amount of air out and then just have a little drive. So on my inflator here I can see now the tyre pressure is 30.8 psi. Let's just change it to bar, 2.12 bar, and then kPa is 212. So I don't need to drive, it was already giving me instant information. So you can see there one of the tyres is flashing. I haven't got my seatbelt on, that's why the screen keeps changing. So we can see there 204 kPa on this back wheel. That wheel is now flashing to show that that's the one with an issue. And then over in that corner we have got the tyre pressure warning light on. So that's what happens when you have a puncture and one of the tyres is lower. It not only tells you down there, but it also tells you which one it is and also displays the current pressure as well. So great little system. And it even says tyre pressure low at the top there if you don't understand what that's telling you. So that's it for this video. I'm just going to go and blow that tyre back up. But if you found this video useful, please do click that thumbs up button on YouTube. That really does help other people find the channel. Do subscribe if you haven't. Plenty of EV videos on the channel, quite a few on the Maxus as well, so do use the search function to find those, and I'll see you on the next video.